Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome, darling, to Orchids for Dummies. I am Foul Pal Darrell. Welcome to my indoor grow space. It's not much, but it's mine, okay? In today's video, we're talking about bringing orchids from outdoors to indoors. It's the end of the year. Many of you want to know when is the latest that you can repot your orchids. Today is the day, okay? Today is November the 5th. Is Friday. And Sunday is daylight savings time. So most experienced growers definitely consider that as the last of the last of the last of the last of days. Okay? Now, don't forget, later today or throughout the day, I'm going live to show you what I'm doing with my orchid collection and giving you guys incredible grow tips that will help you grow better indoors and outdoors. So, right now, this is what's going on. I have watered all of my orchids. And don't forget, this is a no judgment zone. I've watered all of my orchids. The next thing that I'm going to do, because I have some with spikes and stuff, some, you want to know when to cut old flower spikes, this is when I do it. I do everything at the same time because if it has not rebloomed off of an old flower spike in over 6 months, more than likely it will not, especially if you have a new flower spike. So you could go ahead and cut the old flower spikes, okay? It definitely will help with appearances, and it will also help with you know, being able to get a lot of orchids in the same spot, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is separate what orchids need to be repotted. Don't forget, Orchids for Dummies is an advocate for not repotting your orchids immediately. All of these orchids that is on the towel has either, oh Lord Jesus. Okay, we got a problem. Hold on. These orchids have spikes. But long story short, new beginners, all of these orchids have bloomed at least once before I have repotted them. And the roots, as you can see, are very established. Everything is great, okay? So I have a lot of repotting to do. So the first thing that I'm going to do, like I said, it's a no judgment zone. It's a no judgment zone. I have a pot that I have designed for my orchids. I boil the water. Why are you boiling water, Foul Pal Drill? If you did not know, bark fresh out of the pack can be a little dirty. Girl, yes, even the bark from repotme.com, but we're not using it. Experienced growers know that the best orchid media is going to be sphagnum moss, New Zealand, Orchiata bark. This is not Orchiata bark. This is what you get at the grocery store. This is the bark that kills your orchids because it's very dry. It does not hold water. And a lot of orchids like to be wet, okay? At least wet enough. So I just use this as fillers to mix in with my Orchiata bark. So I have the boiling water. The next thing that I do is put the boiling water into the container, okay? I'm going to let you guys see really quick. I have already rinsed this off. You can kind of see the steam coming off of it. I've already done this twice. And you're going to do this until the water is clear. When the water stops looking like this, a lot of you guys like, hey, I repotted my orchid and my orchid died. This is why, because all of this stuff right here, it suffocated the roots, okay? So we want to make sure that our bark is clean before we actually stick it in the pot, okay? So these are some more orchids. Like I said, I'm going to separate the ones that is going to be repotted from the ones that don't want to be repotted. And then I'm going to figure out what decorative pot that I will place them in according to their blooms, according to the lights, keeping all of that into consideration. Girl, get out my garbage can. I told you it's a no judgment zone. Okay, this is Orchid Day. This is not. Girl, is your house clean today? Which it is. Always clean, honey. Girl, honey, I just don't want to show you, but it's clean. But yes. So if you're just, well, I'm not going to repeat myself. So that's all I'm doing right now. I will check in with you guys later. Don't forget, if you got any questions about growing your orchids indoors, outdoors, or even your orchids in water culture, because yes, hopefully I will get to my orchids in water culture today. And I'm going to leave you with a beautiful example or two. This is my Sogo. You see she has some nice little flowers coming. And this is one of my favorite Phalaenopsis orchids with these beautiful pink blooms. And she is in water culture. But all right, Fab Pals, time wise, it's going to warm up here in Alabama at 2 p.m. Central Time. That is when I'll go out and start spraying my orchids with fungicide. But as far as the mass repotting, I watered them first, so all of their roots are nice, wet, and green. I will go live when I am ready to actually do the repot, so you guys can see it is not that serious. It's not that deep. We will not be doing any slicing and dicing or adding herbs and spices. So if you need to learn how to repot your orchid, set your timer, girl. Fab Pal Darrell gonna be back on, honey. He gonna be back on teaching the girls how to repot their orchids. Okay, I'm talking about, girl. Most of my orchids, most of them, okay, they are not, girl. They have been doing just fine in those plastic containers. I'm trying to tell you, girl. I'm trying to tell you. I promise you, I have more orchids that have never been repotted than I have orchids that has been repotted, and that has contributed to my success. Because when we're talking about orchids acclimating, the longer that you give them to acclimate in whatever situation they already are getting accustomed to, the better off they would be. Because now I'm getting orchids. I think the last orchid I bought this year was that orchid from Crowell Smith, the Red Dragon. It has continually been in bloom, and I let it go too dry, so the blooms dried out, and as you can see, a flower spike already. So, and it is still in this really bad setup. I'm gonna repot it today, because as you can see, it's a lot of weeds growing in the pot and everything. And don't forget, if you don't get your repotting done by Sunday, don't even bother. Just go ahead and wait until spring, because you're going to throw your orchid out of season, and then your orchid is going to get confused. It's not going to know if it's summer or spring or winter or fall. And just like kids need stability and they need to know that they are safe and secure, the same is for your orchids. You're talking about you want them to bloom. They need to know that they're safe and secure. They need to be in a stable environment. Your home needs to be clean, or clean light. You can't have trash all over your house talking about some of you growing orchids. That's not what we're doing in 2022. Okay, we're self-care, and we're keeping it cute, and we're keeping it clean. So, all right, Fab Pals, that's all. Don't forget, orchid, bark out of the box, fresh out of the bag. This is what it looks like. Okay, all of this stuff, girl, I even saw some sand. Okay, and so this is normal. It's bark, it's media, it's organic. But what we're going to do is keep rinsing it until the water is clear. Once the water is clear, then we are ready to repot, okay? So I love you guys. Oh, and one last thing, it also helps the bark retain water better. So normally, once you repot your orchid, you would have to water it maybe 2-3 times that week, because the media is new media. It's going to dry out fast. So by us soaking the media first, the media is going to retain water, and your orchid is going to have smooth sailing, smooth transition. Check some of them old videos if you don't believe what I'm talking about. Well, I am Fab Pal Darrell, and I will catch you guys later, honey.